Hi, welcome back to the Spirit's Path, and this is D. Today's tarot card of the day out of the Wildwood Tarot deck is the Four of Stones and Protection. And, I was meditating on this card today, and, I immediately flipped back to yesterday's card, which is the Queen of Bows and the Hare. And here you got the Queen that's, that nurturing, protecting, mothering aspect. And, today you're being protected. So, whatever advice that she gave you yesterday, that Hare, it's fitting for today because it's protecting you on your journey. I don't think, looking at this spread, I don't think you've moved out of this campfire yet. All right, we just had the Eight of Arrows struggle just drop off. So the Six of Bows is still sitting out there. You're still at the campfire, and, you got the Page of Stones, the Knight of Bows, and the Queen of Bows, sitting there, keeping you company. But, here we see a fawn that's, looking for protection from the elements. And, sometimes we need that protection in our lives. We need to be, protected, from others, right? We need to be protected in our own house. It's almost kind of like, the big bad wolf, and the three, little pigs. And, one made it straw, one made it wood, and the other made it brick. And the ones that, straw blew down, the wood blew down, and everybody went to the brick house. And, that dude huffed and puffed until, he was wore out. And, protection right now is really good. To be protected within our own homes, to kind of put those walls up against us, or around us, I should say, of, being around others. We've learned so much in the last year and a half, 2 years with this pandemic and what it means to be safe. And, if you take that safety into your own hands and look out for your own personal safety, then you are protected, making sure that you're not out there with a whole bunch of people, and, making sure that you're wearing a mask when you're out shopping or whatnot. So, without some sort of protection, or without that, let's go back to this motherly card, the nurturing motherly aspect, without a mother to protect the fawn, she's pretty much on her own, right? She's out there, the wolf, the coyote, anything big, a bear might be able to get her, right? But she seeks that protection. She knows better. She seeks that protection, in the wildwood forest underneath the rocks. And, the stones is about security and stability. So, she knows what's going on, with that. But, the Queen is also looking out for her a little bit. And, making sure that she's, got that motherly touch, and, nurturing her a little bit, and, kind of, bringing her into the fold a little bit and protecting her. So, we had the Seven of Vessels mourning pop up here a couple days ago, and, maybe you are mourning something, all right? Maybe it's a hurt, maybe it's a suffering, trials and tribulations. We seek that protection every day from that, with words that somebody said to us, or, even just having a weekend off, not being around all the gossip and the naysayers. And, we get into our own little shells, all right, where we protect ourselves away, from everybody else. We protect ourselves from being vulnerable, right? And when we do that, when we overcome those trials and tribulations, when we get through the hurt, when we get through the suffering, or in this case, we get through the mourning, right? We survive and we endure. Okay, and what does that help us do? That helps us grow. It helps us move forward. It helps us give, a little bit of character in our lives to us. By finding that protection emotionally, spiritually, and physically, we grow stronger, more dedicated to the quest at hand. Having that protection with this Ace of Arrows, the breath of life, you might have a great idea, okay? And, being protected around that helps us grow more stronger. It keeps us more dedicated to that quest at hand, all right? It keeps us, that Knight of Bows is the one that's throwing that quest out there, right? Okay? So, the Page of Stones is out there too to help us learn. So, as we're moving down our spiritual quest and getting stronger and being dedicated to it, we become stronger emotionally. We become stronger spiritually. We become stronger physically. because, you know, our self-confidence is growing, our self-empowerment's growing, right? And, you know, we're able to move forward in a positive direction, knowing that, you know, you have confidence on your path. You know that Spirit's going to guide you. You know the universe is going to guide you. You know, the Ace of Stones gives you that strong foundation. And if you look here at this card, you know, 3 of them are being held up. And, you know, one's got the circle on it, another's got a diamond, and the third's got a lightning bolt on it. Okay, if you can see that, lightning bolt's on the top. And, you know, the circle of life, and then the diamond, the maze that we're walking through, you know, we're all being protected through that stuff. Protected from the elements of what's happening. And just, you know, enabling our confidence to just continue to grow. You know, by facing that inner truth, that inner protection, we keep the spiritual rewards, you know, that the universe has in store for us. You know, we find peace within our own protection. And, you know, when we find that peace and we have that self-assurance and that self-confidence, then we can grow spiritually, we can grow emotionally, we can grow physically, like I said. So, you know, a week ago, you had that abundance, right? And that made you feel good, right? And you made that campfire out of the, you know, the 8 of arrows, you know, the broken arrows that were there, and you saw this abundance, right? And then the Page of Stones shows up, you know, and he says, you know, what can you learn from this situation? Okay, from the abundance to protection. What can you learn from having things that are in abundance to help you being protected? Well, you've got food, right, in this, okay? The page is there, you know, to help you out, okay, right? And even though you might be mourning, all right, you found that protection in the stones. Then the Knight of Bows shows up, okay, the Fox, and he says, what opportunity are you seizing? You know, the opportunity here is, you know what, I gathered some of that food that I had, I'm packing it away because I want to be protected. You know, I can use that on my journey, right? With that Ace of Arrows, that breath of life, that new thought process that you've got moving on, okay? You may have had to let something go, all right? But you know that when you let it go, you're going to fill those cups back up. And then the Queen shows up yesterday, and, you know, how do you influence those around you? All right? Just as she is a mother and a nurturer, you know, she influenced you to seek out that protection. Seek out that protection from the Queen, you know, with her advice that she's got. All right? The other question is that she asks is, where do you need to be more understanding? And maybe on your journey, you know, before you go out there, you might say to yourself, you know what, I struggled, and now I just need to, you know, I need to make sure I'm protected at all times. You know, I had that cape with me, I've had that beacon of hope, but I just need to be protected. I need to, you know, put that hedge of protection up around me, you know, spiritually. You know, I need to trust in the universe and listen to my intuition more, right? I need to, you know, protect myself from being vulnerable. All right. And in the process of doing that, you know, you understand more about where you are, you know, where you are at with your morning. Okay. With letting something go. You understand more with, you know, okay, maybe I don't share these thoughts. Okay. And maybe I need to protect it a little bit. Maybe I need to write it down and send it in an envelope and get it postmarked before I share it with somebody else. Okay. What details are you missing? The Fox asks, as you're going about that thought process and letting things die off, all right, to be protected. You know, the Page is looking at, you know, what data do you need to make a good decision? You know, I'm sure the Fawn looked at this protection here and said, okay, you know, I feel safe because, you know, there's 3 pillars holding this one pillar up. And you know what? Maybe they understood it, maybe they didn't understand it, you know, but they knew that they could find comfort there, all right? Just as much as you could find comfort in that 6 of Bows, in that abundance. So be protected, find that comfort, know that you're being protected by that Queen of Bows that's out there as well, looking out over you, And you know, you've got some great advice here. You know, the Page of Stones is helping you learn as you're moving on this quest, learning, you know, about your, you know, taking on new ideas, being creative with that, as well as, okay, you know, maybe, you know, those that don't agree with it, I have to let go, right? And you have to put that protection up around you. You know, the Knight of Bows is, you know, wants you to start that quest, giving you that fire and that action energy, and the Queen's there to protect you, you know, with that fire energy as well, okay? And influencing those around you to, you know, maybe see your thought process the way you see it. So there you have it. You know, take heed and protect yourself, you know, today when you, or whenever you watch this, I should say. And, you know that you're protected. Protect your heart, protect your soul, protect yourself, you know, from the new variant that's going on there, from vulnerabilities, all right? But also know that the universe and spirit's got you protected too. Your family's going to protect you. You know, whether that's a work family or, you know, your relatives, okay? So there you have it. That's today's card of the day for Stones Protection. Hit that like button for me, subscribe to the channel, and share it with others. This is D for Spirit's Path, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Take care, God bless, stay safe, everybody.